and just start off by letting you know that we are in the home stretch of this semester. The last day is going to be a week from this Thursday, December 10th. I usually end the the semester a week before finals, the formal finals. So 1 week from Thursday will be our last class. And I guess the spring semester again will start kind of mid-January, and it's going to all be online again, also. But we'll wrap it up by the by next week. Got one more assignment for you, and then we're going to call it a day. The last assignment is going to be, let me share my screen here. It's going to be the final, and I'm going to have you design a poster. And I gave this to my, I believe it was a graphic design class a while back. It's going to be a poster that I ask you to do a kind of 3-piece campaign on. And it's going to be a run, a 5K run. And I don't know, it's something that you see a lot of these days, probably not recently because of COVID, but a lot of these 5K runs that are for charity events, they're, for breast cancer awareness or, autism or who knows, it's like tons and tons of these 5K runs. So it's going to be a basic charity poster, who, what, where, when type information. And let me just click on this assignment here and read through it. It says the final will consist of creating a campaign for a 5K run. The first phase of this assignment will be to create a logo for the event sponsor. Now you're going to create the event, and the event can be anything that you want it to be. So it could be a 5K run for, whatever, for muscular dystrophy or any kind of charitable cause that you would want to do one for. So you're going to create some type of logo. Now, the logo is not going to necessarily have to be, some extensive logo, campaign where you're doing, all these ideas and thumbnails and all of that. Create a quick badge type logo is fine. You can use a template if you want. Anyway, the sponsor can be a charity or cause that you create from scratch. Once the logo is designed, you will develop a poster announcing the event. So think of this as a, something that, a printed piece that's going to have to be hung in places, maybe in the vicinity or the area that it's going to occur in. Rancho Cucamonga has these 5K events that they usually sponsor at the senior center over here off of Milliken, or whatever, in local businesses, small businesses, things like that. The poster will consist of information describing the who, what, when, where, and why. We call that the 5 W's of, who is sponsoring this, who is the organization, what is it? It's a 5K run. When is it going to be? The date, the time, where is it going to be, the location. There can be all kind of other information on the poster, but those are the basic, things. And maybe a why. Why is this event being promoted, being put on? What is the purpose of it? What is the goal of it? To raise money, to send kids to summer camp or whatever. You can throw in whatever extra verbiage you want. You may create the poster in any software program of your choosing, so I'm not concerned about what you're using, whether it's Photoshop or Illustrator, InDesign, or Canva, or whatever. The poster, once the poster is completed, what I want you to do is upload it to a mock-up that I'm going to give you. And I'll post these mock-ups on this assignment. I haven't done that yet, but there'll be zip files that you can download, and the mock-ups will be there. In addition to the logo and poster, you will design a ball cap and a t-shirt that will be handed out to contestants at the event. So in other words, you sign up for this event, you participate in this event, and they give you a ball cap and, you know, for your entry fee, and a t-shirt. Okay, very typical things that they give you. They might have buttons and things like that. The ball cap and t-shirt will consist of the logo that you design, and you'll that will be placed in a Photoshop mock-up that you will find online. Okay, so you're going to find those mock-ups yourself, and I'll show you where a good place to start is. You will submit your work to Canvas as multiple JPEGs, so each individual mock-up you can upload separately, or if you're real kind to me, you'll put them all on one page and just upload one big giant JPEG, which would be fine too. Okay, but individual JPEGs are fine. So you're going to have three pieces. One is the poster, one is the ball cap, and one is the t-shirt. Here is an example that I had done for just an example of a 5K run. It says 5K run. Join us in saving our wolf population across the USA. Saturday, July 17th. There's no year here. This is all fictitious stuff. Central Park and Baseline, Rancho Cucamonga. It starts at 7 a.m. For entry information, visit our website at www.savethewolves.com. Here's the logo. And then it was a collage of two photos that were collaged in Photoshop. And then an extra line of type at the bottom here that says Save the Wolves Foundation is a nonprofit organization. The text was done. This was all done in Photoshop, so the text has a Photoshop wow style attached to it. It's one of those wow styles of, you know, kind of beveled embossing, you know, a chiseled bevel emboss. The photos were one photo of wolves and the other photo of this runner that were kind of blended together in Photoshop, a collage effect that was done. And again, this can, you know, the photos can be collaged in Photoshop, and you can drop them into InDesign and put the type down. But I figured since this can all be done in Photoshop, that's probably the best program to just do everything in Photoshop. So I did it. I don't know how many layers were done because I don't have the original Photoshop file. I just exported out a JPEG, so this is all kind of baked into one file. But this was actually a logo that I had already done for another assignment. I think it was called the Husky House or something. So I just changed the text around here, and it says Save the Wolf Foundation. And I use that. Now you can use a badge design from anywhere. You can make one up for yourself in InDesign. I think we talked about that before. Or you can just grab a you know, a template and use a template, which is fine. And then the mock-up that I'm going to give you is this bus stop mock-up here. And then you're going to place the the graphic in this. And so this is what it will look like, as if it were on the street at a bus stop, in a bus stop kiosk. Okay, so let's go through that real quick, and then that's pretty much it. And I'll show you where to find some of the mock-ups. Okay, so I'm going to go to Photoshop, and this is the mock-up that I'm going to give you. It's this one right here. Okay, so this is the mockup I found on a site called mockupworld.co, and we'll go to that website in a sec. It comes in like this, and you've used mockups before, so you know where the smart layer is, and this is the smart layer here. This is where you're going to substitute out that design. So if I double click on the smart layer, you can see that this is the current stock image. I'm going to open up the wolf JPEG right there. No, this is the mockup. So let's see. Let me go find that. That's in my user. Fall 149 assignments, mockups, billboard mockup, 5K run poster. Okay, so this is the poster that I did in Photoshop. This is actually a JPEG of that, because if it was the actual Photoshop, you'd see all the layers here. So that's the nice part about doing it in Photoshop. You can just transfer it right to the mockup. So here is the JPEG, and I'm just going to copy this right here. I'll just do Command A, select everything, and Command C to copy. I'll go over to the mockup placeholder, and I'll paste it in, so Command V. So here's the poster, and I'll position it up here. It's a little bit smaller than this, so I'll Command T or transform, and I'll grab the corner and yank it up to at least the width. Okay, let me turn the visibility of the placeholder off. I can even delete this if I wanted to. And I can see that my type is getting cut off because the proportion of my JPEG was not the same proportion of this image. And I have to use this proportion because that's what fits in the bus frame. So I do have some space up here, so I'm going to grab this and kind of scoot it up a little bit so that this text shows. And I think that's enough space in there and there. Okay, so that looks good. It's to the edge. And then to apply the mockup to the actual bus depot, I do save, right? Command S to save. So I'll do Command S. And then if I go back to the mockup, it shows the mockup. It shows that it replaced that in the mockup. And then all I would do with this is just save this as a JPEG and save it out. And that's what I did here. And then I would upload this to Canvas. So simple enough. And I'll have this mock-up for you that you can download. Okay, so that is that. So let's go to the site for mockups, and that and they're free. I think I purchased only one mockup in my life because I'm so cheap. But the best ones are the ones that cost money, and they don't cost that much. And I have always recommended that if it's for your portfolio, it's worth buying. $4 or $5 or whatever for a good mock-up that's really gonna make your work sing. I'm gonna go to this site here. In fact, if you're just searching, I already know what the URL is, but just type in free mockup images, and you'll they usually have it pretty close to the top here. Not images, but free mockups. Let's do that. And yeah, you come to this www.mockupworld.co. So hit that, and this is the site here. And you can start by looking at the different types of mock-ups that you might want. Fashion and apparel, you know, you're talking about t-shirts and ball caps, so you might want to click on that. And then just kind of scroll down and take a look. Oh, wow, they got a lot of masks now. And just kind of go down and see, or you can type in an actual search for a specific thing. So that might be something that you might want to do, like ball cap. So you have all of these ball caps, and it's up to you to kind of find which version you want. I'm sure they have lots of t-shirts. T-shirts on people. Front and back t-shirts. T-shirts with models. And there's more too. And these are all free. And the ones that I usually use if it's a free mock-up is the ones that will, you know, you click on these things and you get to a site, you know, that looks like this, and you go free download, and you click on this, and now all of them are can be different. I usually like the ones where you click on them and you don't have to submit your email, you don't have to open up an account. So if you come to a mock-up where it takes you, you know, usually they take you to other sites. Like this one is Graphic Burger. So there's really nothing that you're downloading directly from Mockup World. Mockup World is just kind of a directory that throws you to different sites to download free mockups. Some are easy, some you click and boom, you get it. Others will take you on a little journey through different, you know, pages, ultimately maybe wanting you to join and set up an account and give them your email address. Usually I don't deal with those because I don't like, you know, giving all that stuff out. So that's the one downside of free mockups, is that you might run into that stuff. And the last thing you want is, you know, some kind of virus downloading to your computer. So, but for the most part, you know, you're not going to get into that on these type of sites. So anyway, search around and see which one that you, this is good practice anyway, because you'll probably want to use mockups. And I do have some, but I want you to go through the exercise of finding them yourself. And one of the things that I want to get to is Pinterest. Because when you look at let's say ball cap design, these are all mock-ups. And some of these, you know, probably a lot of these cost money. Maybe some of them are straight from, you know, freebies like Mockup World. But when you get into, like, we were doing granola or something the other day, like granola packaging. And when you get into that, you know, things like this might be a paid mock-up, something that you have to pay for. Definitely something like this might be, you know, these aren't going to be free. It's not a real good one anyway, but that might be an actual photo. But something like this might be an actual paid mock-up. So if that's the effect that you want, like this, you might have to pay for this. And when you click on, a lot of times you click on this and it'll take you to the mock-up, and it's a paid mock-up. So those are the ones that usually you know cost money. And if we just went to mock-ups, like these. I'm sorry, it's not a good one. Mock-up templates here, Creative Market. Yeah, Creative Market, I think you got to pay for these. But these are the ones that have some really nice photography in them. And you can tell right off the bat that these are, these are paid mock-ups. $39, $59. I mean, some of these are like really expensive. But see, this is a mock-up kit that you can buy where you have all these different mock-ups. And again, multi-device mock-up scene. This might be definitely worth, like, let's say you're a web designer, you're wanting to show your web designs in really nice mock-ups, different angles, different views, different cutaways, and things like that. You have all of these mock-ups, and you can use them for commercial purposes. So you can use them for clients. A lot of times, you might want to get a client to put that into the budget, and then you can use a mock-up for them. But anyway, the best ones are the ones that cost money. Okay, so getting back to the assignment, that's what you're going to do. You're going to create this. This is going to be the final project. You're going to create a poster, and we'll meet again on Thursday, just short meet. And I'll talk about a little bit of collaging, if that's something you want to do, or how this was kind of put together. But that's something that you can start and get started on. And that will be the end of the module. Did you figure out you were asking about that thing getting cut off in Squarespace? Did that work?
Yeah.
Did that work for you?
Yeah, because it was an image that I put in there.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, because I went right to the Squarespace site and I searched for that, and I guess what it does is it's through the CSS, it automatically just crops the photo to whatever device you're using. And phones are very portrait and long, so you're gonna, yeah, that's something that's always happens when that happens. You have to kind of figure out like a lot of times you have to do different versions, but you have to kind of figure out a layout that works for everything. So how's the job going?
It's good. It's good. Yeah, she just gives me like assignments every week to do.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
That's good. Having fun?
Yeah, it's good.
Okay. Well, I guess I will meet with you again on Thursday. You can get started on that. And
Okay.
what's your plans after this anyway? Are you moving on, or are you thinking of
like transferring, or like school wise, or
yeah, school wise? Are you thinking of moving on to another school, or are you gonna?
Yeah, I'm actually applying to transfer to Cal State San Bernardino
Oh, okay,
right
good.
now. Yeah.
Good for you. Yeah.
Yeah.
That's the natural next step for Valley
Yeah, because
College.
I know no UCs have like graphic design majors, so Cal State San Bernardino had it, so I was like, it's close
Yeah,
anyway.
Cal State Fullerton is good. they're a really good school for graphic design.
Okay.
If you're into illustration, apparently they're really known for that program. In fact, we have we're trying to come up with classes that work with Fullerton. We have
Yeah.
classes that work with Cal State San Bernardino, but we're really trying
Hmm.
to have classes that work well with Fullerton because they're such a strong illustration school. So
Hmm.
if that's something that it's always been a good graphic design school. It's a little bit far though, from here. Not far, but I mean not as far as like Cal State Long Beach, which is excellent. I mean Cal State
Yeah.
Long Beach is like cream of the crop of the Cal State schools for graphic design.
Yeah.
But Fullerton is right up there. In fact, I would
Hmm.
say Cal State Long Beach, Fullerton, Cal State LA. Cal State San Bernardino has a good program, though. They have a good program, and a lot of students go there because, a lot of times it's logistics. It's just it's close and it's convenient, you know.
Yeah.
And I've had lots of students that end up at Cal State San Bernardino and
Yeah.
do very well too. So, um, okay. Well, very good, Miriam. And I'll see you on Thursday then.
Okay. Sounds
Okay?
good.
All right. Take care.
You too.